Do you know that financially and economically speaking, it is better to rent a house than to own it? And I will give you a very good example. Think of a person who have built a very nice house in Juja or Ruiru or Kamau at a cost of about 12 million Kenya shillings. If this person is not occupying this house, it would fetch a monthly rent of about 40,000 per month. This is because this house, yes, it is nice, but you cannot compare it with other houses in Kilimani, Kileleshwa, Westlands, or those posh places. Now, if it cost you 12 million, what if I said that, and it is given, and if you are to rent it out, it would give you 40,000 max? What if I told you there is a concept called sale and leaseback? Sale and leaseback is when you sell that house that you built for 12 million, and let's assume that you still sell it for 12 million and invest them a program or in an investment vehicle that is giving you a minimum of 10%. And that's the bare minimum. You can get that kind of an investment everywhere. Let's even go with the safest, treasury bonds. If you invest that 12 million after selling your house at a return of 10% per annum, you'll be getting 1.2 million Kenya shillings per year. 1.2 million, if you divide by 12 months, you'll get a whopping 100,000 per month. This when compared with what your house would fetch if you are to rent it out, it is far much higher, 100,000 with 40,000. Assuming that you even want to continue staying in your house, so you sell and lease back. Yes, you have sold, but you also ask the new owner to rent it out to you at how much? 40,000. And how much are you getting per month from investing treasury bonds? 100,000. So you are saving a whopping 60,000 Kenya shillings per month. And no one is knowing about that. Even your children, they did not know that you have been able to release tied capital that you in building that house to a of 10, 12 million, and you have invested it in an investment vehicle that is higher return than what your house is saving you. Let's assume that the 12 million, you decide to save it in a fund like Mansa X, or even Quest Pinnacle, or Etika, or Avocap, that are giving an average return per annum of 20%. Now, with your 12 million and you have invested at 20%, you are getting a whopping 2.4 million Kenya shillings. And let me tell you, with the 2.4 million Kenya shillings per annum, that is the return, the profit, divided by 12, that is a whopping 200,000 Kenya shillings per month. And how much would you, if you continued to stay in this house that you have sold, you would be paying a rent of how much per month? 40,000. And now you are getting how much per month? 200,000. And therefore you are able to save 160,000 per month. With this 160,000, you can do so many things. You can invest this money, or you can even enjoy life. But if you choose not to stay in the same neighborhood, that is Juja, Ruiru, or Kamau, where you built your house and you have sold it, now you have 200,000 with you every month, and you can stay along Langata Road, to Strathmore University, Catholic University, Riara University, Sunshine Secondary School. You choose, I want to stay near to where my kids are going to school. Maybe you don't want complication about school bus, or you want them to be the scholars so that you can continue having that experience as a family. The 200,000 will pay for you comfortably. You don't have to continue staying in Juja or Ruai, those other places. If perhaps your child goes to Kianda School or Nairobi School, you go near and you get an apartment or even a standalone with 200,000 if you want to the maximum. And in Westlands, you'll get such a nice house. and you will have experience. If now that place is not good enough for you, relocate to Parklands and you get next to, perhaps you're working in Aga Khan University, or your kids are going to some schools in that place. So you once you are able to do a sale and leaseback, if that is what you want to do, or a sale and convert your money into liquid cash that you can invest in more rewarding investment options, then that is, you are taking a step towards the right direction of achieving financial independence and freedom. And if you think that the idea is not a very good one, let me remind you this, that most established financial institutions, I'm talking about banks, I'm talking about insurance firms, I'm talking about SACCOs, we are seeing them more and more selling their fixed properties, selling their buildings, and converting them into liquid cash, and then investing them in more rewarding investments. Most insurance firms and even banks, they are now doing what is called sale and leaseback. Yes, we built this building. It is a fantastic one. It is a skyscraper. But we also understand the cost of maintaining this building. And even in terms of the value that we are getting for investing and tying our capital in this project, it is not equivalent with what we can get if we just sell it and then we lease back, so that we'll be paying some rent to house our offices. But now we'll have, if this house did cost about 100 million, we will be able to release 100 million and get it, then invest it in other investment options that are giving us a rate of return of even 20%. And from that 20% return that we're getting, just like the case of Juja, Ruiru, Ruai, and Kamau, where you are selling a house at 12 million, investing it somewhere that you are getting either 100,000 or 200,000 per month, and you are continuing to pay 40,000 for the same house that you built, and therefore saving yourself from 60,000 to 160,000 per month. The same thinking is what is being used by established financial institutions, banks, insurance firms, and SACCOs. More and more we are seeing them selling their properties, because the story about real estate is exaggerated and overrated and overstated. Real estate properties, at most, they give you a return of 5%. And I'll give you a good example. Assuming you have bought an apartment in Kilimani, Kileleshwa, Lavington, Westlands, Loresho at 10 million. This apartment, deducting all cost of service charge and other maintenance cost, including when the house will be vacant in a month or 2 months in a year, it is giving you a return of 50,000 per month, which is equivalent, after deducting for service charge, to 500,000 per year. 500,000 per year divided by your investment of 10 million, initial investment, multiplied by 100, that is a return of 5%. With a return of 5%, you are doing yourself a disservice, because in even government investments, treasury bonds and treasury bills, and those are considered to be risk-free investments, they are giving you a rate of 10%. So for that 10 million apartment, if you sold it, you would be getting 1 million per year, compared to 500,000 per year when you are getting it rented out. And with government securities, you don't have to worry about this agent has not sent you money, or the tenant is yet to pay money. It is risk-free investment. So we see most banks, they are releasing that money. If any people, maybe that house that you have in Jujas or Kamau, it is a house that you bought through what? Through a loan facility. And a loan facility that you are paying, you are servicing, it is at the rate of maybe 15% or 20%. But the value that it is providing you, maybe if you are to rent it out, to give you 5%. So why don't you just do the right thing? Because I tell you, if you just bought the house for the sake of buying, and by in the process tying much capital, and because every other person was doing so, we are in different stages of achieving financial independence and freedom. There are people who have invested and they can afford the luxury of now building their own house and occupying it because they have invested in many places. But even so, we are seeing banks, we are seeing insurance firms, we are seeing even hospitals building and then deciding to sell and doing a sale-leaseback. Because when you do a sale-leaseback, you release the tied up capital so that you expand, you can repay expensive loans, you can strengthen your cash flow, and at the same time, you loosen and you ease the financial pressure and risk when you are assets. There's depreciation. Before we used to think that real estate are appreciating assets. It is given. No, that is no longer the case. I have seen about in the last 5 to 10 years, rate at which properties are losing value is astronomical. Why is that so? About 10 years and you would buy an apartment for 15 million and you would be very sure a year later it would be worth 16 million. Another year, 17 million. They were considered appreciating assets. But now, with the Chinese developers coming to Kenya, and they are building skyscrapers right, left, and center in Westlands, Kilimani, Kileleshwa, and Lavington. And by doing so, we are having an oversupply of real estate products. And the forces of demand and supply, they are always right. That whenever there is an oversupply of anything, the price dips. And this is what is happening in the real estate sector, that prices are either stagnating or are going down. But we are not going by what we used to believe, that real estate properties are always appreciating. Right now, stagnating or going down. So it could be the right financial project and strategy that you need to undertake. You can do a sale and leaseback. If you are an office, if you are a business that is occupying their own premises, don't have to change the location, you continue staying there. If you are a family that's staying in your own house, you can do a sale and leaseback. Even your kids, even the neighbors will not know. They will still continue thinking that you are staying in your own house. But for you, especially that case of Juja and Roy, that you convert that 12 million into an investment vehicle that is giving you 200 million a month, and you will only be 40,000 to the new landlord and saving yourself a whooping 160,000. If you continue investing that 160,000 into another investment project that is giving you a return which is compounded annually, and you remember the story about the compounding interest, and you are pumping 160,000 per month, within the next 10 years, you will be the next Aliko Dangote of Africa. When you know better, definitely you should do better.